Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm up early to tell you about some breaking news coming out of Washington, D.C., as well as some breaking news coming out of Saudi Arabia that could have a major effect on the United States, the U.S. dollar, the European economy, and the Russia-Ukraine war. Thank you so much for joining me, whether you're watching this early in the morning or sometime later in the day. I also have some news about Joe Biden and the upcoming DNC Convention. Biden continues to flounder, and a Parkinson's expert says Biden has all the hallmarks of someone with Parkinson's disease. Thank you guys so much for liking and sharing these videos. It really helps me out, so thank you so much. During President Biden's recent interview with ABC News, he responded to concerns raised by former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and argued that his bad debate performance was due to an episode instead of a condition that he suffers from. Unfortunately for him, his performance in that interview was just as bad as his performance in the debate against Donald Trump. So it didn't help his case. He stuttered, slurred his words, and even refused once again to take an independently offered cognitive test from a doctor. Now, amid rumors that Biden has Parkinson's disease, NBC News decided to interview a Parkinson's expert, Dr. Tom Pitts, to get his thoughts. Shockingly, Dr. Pitts, who is also a Democrat, stated he could diagnose Biden with Parkinson's from across the mall. He pointed to Biden's trouble of actual word retrieval and other symptoms such as loss of arm swing and his rigid turning as proof that he has the beginning stages of Parkinson's. Now, as soon as the majority noticed Biden acting strange, the media followed suit and they've all jumped on the bandwagon. They went from ignoring Biden's failures to highlighting them. Now, if you ask me, someone very high up has made the decision that Biden must be replaced, and now they're spending billions of dollars of ad time on pushing Biden out and humiliating him and making him look bad. So on top of having dementia, he likely has the beginning stages of Parkinson's. This brings me no joy. Both of these are a miserable way to live. But this is what the sitting president is likely dealing with. For the first time, Joe Biden might actually have empathy for what Donald Trump has lived through with the media being against you at all turns. Now, with that being said, Joe Biden seems to be taking a page out of Donald Trump's playbook. During an interview with MSNBC, Joe Biden bashed the elites in his party for trying to remove him. He stated, "I'm getting frustrated by the elites, not you guys, the elites in the party. They know so much more. Any of these guys that don't think I should run against me, announce for president, challenge me at the convention." While I echo this challenge with Joe Biden, it does seem that he is maybe challenging people to something that he knows they can't replace him with, right? Like, he owns and controls the delegates. He's already the presumptive nominee. So it's kind of like tough talking a dead body. Like, it's not going to do anything for you. Now, with that, we have to think about Biden is practically the crowned nominee, but he's not officially the nominee. That can't happen until the DNC Convention in August. So members of the DNC could line up. They likely won't, unless there's some kind of behind the scenes agreement going on. Now, in light of how difficult the process would be without Biden willingly stepping down, top Democrats such as Representative AOC of New York have called for everyone in the party to unite behind Joe Biden. According to CBS News, AOC stated, "I have spoken to the president over the weekend. I have spoken with him extensively. He made clear then and has made clear since that he is in this race. The matter is closed. He had reiterated that this morning, and he has reiterated that to the public. Joe Biden is our nominee. He is not leaving the race. He is in this race and I support him. So she's basically saying everybody needs to bow down to Joe Biden and get behind him in order to beat Donald Trump. But what Representative AOC wants may not be realistic. According to Democrat Representative Steve Cohen, when he was asked if they were on the same page at a meeting where dozens of Democrats got together on how to get Biden to step down, Cohen said, "We're not on the same page. We're not even in the same book." So essentially, the party is now split. A majority of people support Donald Trump remaining on the ticket, but a minority, a vocal minority, they are saying, you have to step down in order to beat Donald J. Trump. Please, please, you must step down. All right, now, Saudi Arabia made a big announcement today in favor of Russia. Yes, Russia. Prince Mohammed Bin Salman sent his private emissaries to meet with their counterpart over in different countries in Europe. The message that was sent to these NATO partners is that if NATO spends or keeps the $300 billion that the United States confiscated from Russia, that Saudi Arabia will immediately sell off their entire European bond portfolio in an attempt to collapse the economy of Europe. Wow. This is a really big deal. Now, I was digging and I was not able to find just how much debt or treasuries of different European markets that Saudi Arabia finds. But upon digging, I did learn that Saudi Arabia owned $750 billion of US Treasuries while Barack Obama was president. I have to imagine that they've continued to add to their portfolio, and this number is now in the trillions of dollars. So now imagine that Prince Mohammed Bin Salman orders the liquidation of over $1 trillion in paper assets. Imagine what this would do to the US Treasury. Imagine what this would do to the US bond market. This is what they are threatening to do to Europe. Now, I don't know why they're threatening Europe and not the United States of America. Maybe the money is being held in European banks. I'm not sure. I'll continue to dig in. But ever since Saudi Arabia agreed to start selling oil in other denominations besides the US dollar, they are making big, big moves against the United States of America. And as of right now, they are looking to side with Russia in this war. And if necessary, they are willing to help their new BRICS partner, Russia, to collapse the European bond market. I mean, this would be an absolute disaster. All right, now I have some other big, big stories for you. But first, 50 seconds from our sponsor. Colonial Metals Group helped me with my goal of protecting my financial future. Being at the whim of the stock market or the current administration does not make me feel safe or secure. By having a self-directed IRA where I can safely store gold and silver, assets that have stood the test of time, I have increased my own safety and security by having access to gold and silver. Now, Colonial Metal Groups has helped me with a self-directed IRA that gives me direct access to my assets. Let the team of experts at CMG help you and your family be protected. Their level of professionalism and ability to help you understand everything you need to know about preserving your hard work makes it really an easy decision. Maybe you're just getting started, or maybe you already have a 401k, or maybe you've been put in charge of helping mom and dad to protect their assets during retirement. Colonial Metal Group. Now, we put together a special offer for my audience. Click now on the link in the description below, or call my 1-800 number and you can receive a safe and up to $7,500 in free silver. Go call or check out their website right now. To illustrate just how united Republicans have become compared to Democrats, ex-presidential candidate Nikki Haley has just told the 95 delegates she earned in the Republican presidential primary to go vote for Donald Trump. She is telling them at the Republican National Convention, please set your feelings aside. Do what is best for the country. Do what is best for conservative values and for the Republican Party, and vote Donald Trump. This is the exact opposite of what you are hearing from Democrat leaders. Now, hopefully those 95 will heed her advice and counsel and go do that, because we need to see Donald Trump back in the White House. While Nikki Haley is clearly trying to get back in Donald Trump's good graces, it was announced that she wasn't invited to attend the RNC this year. In response, Haley's spokesman stated she was not invited and she's fine with that. Trump deserves the convention he wants. She made it clear she's voting for him and wishes him the best. Who knows? Maybe Trump will extend her a personal invitation, but I still don't think she's in the running for vice president. But let me know over in the chat, what do you think? What do you think is going on with Nikki Haley? Okay, now in some international news, House Speaker Mike Johnson has just bashed NATO for failing to pay their fair share. Geez, hasn't Trump been saying this for over a decade? Pay your fair share. Why is it the US taxpayers that are always the one on the hook to pay for all of NATO? While attending NATO's annual summit, House Speaker Mike Johnson stated, Republicans, of course, celebrate the peace and prosperity that NATO has secured and will continue to stand by our partners as we prevent needless wars. But we also believe that NATO needs to be doing more. Every NATO member needs to be spending at least 2% of their GDP on defense. That's the agreement. That's the deal. So he's calling for them. He's basically echoing what Donald Trump has been saying. Pay your fair share or else you're not really a member of NATO. Now, I love how all these members of Congress in both parties talk about supporting Ukraine, but none of them actually talk about ending this war. This is a humanitarian crisis. Ukraine is not going to win, despite the fact that just yesterday, President Joe Biden said, if we support Ukraine with more money, they will beat Vladimir Putin. This is a giant lie, and I want you to know that. That is a lie. They are not going to beat Russia. They are not going to beat Putin. I guess Julian Assange was right. They don't want wars that end. They want endless wars that make big profits for their election donors. Now, GDP stands for gross domestic product, which is the total market value of all goods and services produced within a country during a calendar year. Unfortunately, less than half of NATO members have honored this commitment, which may leave them more reliant on support of other nations, such as American taxpayers. This is why they are telling NATO members, you have to pay your fair share. It's unfair for the United States of America to always carry your load. Now, Johnson's warning comes after former President Donald Trump made it very clear that he may pull support from countries who fail to pay their fair share. My guess is once he actually does this, when he's back in office, you're going to see them pay up really, really quickly. At least that's what happened last time. Isn't it nice to be backing a president who has a solid track record of keeping us safe, keeping war at bay, and also giving us an incredible economy with a strong US dollar? All right, now, listen to this. Democrat election expert James Carville, the guy that got Bill Clinton elected, said he believes Joe Biden will exit the race just before the DNC Convention in Chicago. He said he believes Biden will exit in a way that kicks Kamala Harris off of the ticket. This will make a majority of Democrats happy with Joe as he leaves the race, and Kamala can only become president on her own merits and not by being anointed by Joe Biden. Now, Carville believes Biden might cut a deal with the Obamas or the Clintons to find somebody who can uphold his legacy. And by that, I mean cover up his crimes, right? Like that's what they're really talking about is, do we put Hillary Clinton in? She would cover up Biden crimes. Do we put Michelle Obama in? She would cover up Biden crimes. Do we put Gavin Newsom in? He would cover up Biden crimes. Same thing with Gretchen Whitmer. The only one we don't know is Kamala Harris, and those are too big of odds to risk. And so that's why James Carville is saying they are going to, that Biden is going to step down and throw Kamala under the bus so that she can only win if the people really want her. And as of right now, I don't think they do. All right, now it was announced late last night that the pier that Biden spent $320 million of taxpayer money on to help Gaza get aid is beyond repair. The Pentagon will order the U.S. military later this week to scrap the project and find a way to dispose of the materials safely and responsibly. What a waste of money. $320 million. That could have been used here in our own country. All right, now, in a sad set of news, President Macron of France has won his seat and kept his grip over France as a pro-migration, pro-war leader. However, he's pulling a page out of Biden's binder. He's now having Marine Le Pen, the woman who nearly beat him in the election, investigated by the French equivalent of the Department of Justice. He's telling everyone that she needs to be jailed and that she only came this close to beating him because she must have been abusing or misusing campaign funds. Therefore, she must be investigated and jailed. So Brazil is trying to jail their former president. America is trying to jail our former president. And now France is trying to eliminate the person who poses the single greatest threat to the Emmanuel Macron presidency over in France. So sad. Man, fascism really is creeping into the very governments that fought to kill it off 70 years ago. Does it ever feel like we're living in a simulation and like fascism is the bad guy? And if you don't beat it, then the simulation just keeps bringing fascism and communism back over and over and over again. I don't know. That was just a thought I had. All right. Lastly, the media is lying. They are lying to you. The Democrats are lying to you. They say Donald Trump hasn't been in the public for 11 days, that he's been hiding ever since the debate. Meanwhile, just last night, Trump held a successful rally in Doral, Miami, Florida, where he had tens of thousands of patriots in attendance. Man, the media just absolutely loves to lie about Donald J. Trump. Absolutely terrible. All right, now, as I wish you a great day on this early morning video, I want to remind you that you are amazing. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. I want to say happy birthday to my late father. It's been 4 years since he passed away. I love him. I miss him. And I just want to honor him by saying happy birthday. Hey, I love you guys as well. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Please, if you can, give this video a like, share it on Twitter and Facebook and with family and friends, and hit that subscribe button. I want you in my community where we're almost to 1.7 million amazing truth seekers. Hey, I love you guys so much. Thanks again, and I will see you on the next